So now create a new layer above everything else. And what we're going to do now is kind of make it like you've seen widescreen movies. It's just going to kind of be like that. I don't know why this makes it look good, but I've seen it on certain signatures, and it just, to me, it just makes it look a lot better. So just make a very thin line. If you want to make it exact, probably around 5 to 10 pixels. Fill it in with black. You can also add these to the sides too, but I just find the top and bottom better. That's my personal preference though. Then duplicate this layer. On the top layer that you just duplicated, go Layer, Auto Crop Layer, take the Align tool, and align it at the bottom. Then merge those two layers down, and you have your widescreen. Now we're going to add some text. Now, I am not good at adding text, just to warn you, so this is not the best outcome. So, just create some new text. Let's just Venom. Probably spelled that wrong, but doesn't matter. Now pick a color that will pop out, but still blends in. So I'm just gonna pick, let's see, kind of a light red maybe. It's probably too pinkish. I guess that's okay right there. So and then create a new layer. Take your rectangle select tool, and I don't know what, I just like underlining things, so you don't have to do this. You can do any text effect you want. Just keep it small. You don't want it to take control of your image. You don't want the text just to be the prominent thing. So then I just have a simple underline right there, but I don't like the underline to be in front of the render. So just off its selection of the render, and just take your lasso select tool, go subtract from layer. This is just for this one because I don't want to cut out that part of it. But you could if you wanted, but I don't want to. Just subtract that layer, that part, and then go to this top layer where you added the underline. Just press delete, and then deselect everything, and that should just make it look like it's kind of going behind. Now merge this underline layer with the text layer. Go to Filters, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and find it. Now you don't want to blur this much depending on your text size. I probably made mine a little too big. It probably stands out a little too much, but you can just fiddle around with those. Those are personal preference things. Blur this by 1 or 2 depending on your size, just to kind of blend it in. And that's probably too much. I kind of picked a color that is very similar to the background, so you don't want to blend it too much. That's pretty good right there. And now the last thing we want to do is just erase some of the edges from the render layer, just to kind of blend it more into the background. So just take your fuzzies brush. Let's find it here. Large fuzzy brush. Erase tool. Not that large. And then just erase some of the corners, or as much of the edge as you can without taking away from the actual render. Yeah, see, what I just did there, you don't want to do that. You just want to lightly, just lightly erase some of the edges, just to help it blend in, give it a little depth, I guess, if you want to say that. Now again, I am horrible at signatures. I'm good at the basics pretty much. Now the last thing I want to do is kind of like the C4Ds. This is just adding fractals, which I just remembered right now. So to File, Open as Layers, find your fractals, and I'll leave the link to the description in these as well. And then just pick some you like, move them around, some to overlay, move them under the text and the black line layer. And that didn't really do much, but it kind of gives it somewhat of a light source. You can use fractals as light sources as well. I could put that right there, right in his face, to kind of give it that kind of light source. And then just customize it however you want with all your fractals and C4Ds and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is a GIMP tutorial, and I'll see you next time in my next tutorial.